Okay, so we are back and recharged after a short break. I really hope you use it to navigate the 8-week platform a little bit. There's a lot of zones to discover, a lot of new things to learn, to visit Learning Zone, to visit Expo Zone, and learn all the ways you can boost your HR teams, yourselves, your organizations. You can also hop by Nice Cafe or visit HR Wall Hall. So a lot of things to discover, but right now we are back on learning journey throughout this people-centric HR day. If you're into design thinking, this is the right place for you because in the next, let's say 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to hear a successful story of a company who transformed their selection process and thus they made an inspiring and improving candidate experience. This is the right place for you. Welcome to Track B, and it is my pleasure to welcome to this session and to HR Week 2023 Irina Banjeglav, Lead Customer Experience Manager from Ayadan, and Vladimir Milenković, HR Partner at Ayadan. Vladimir, Irina, welcome to HR Week 2023.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. Before you start your session, I have to ask on a scale from 1 to 10, let's say, how exciting it is to be a designer of human experience.
110.
Okay. Are you all set up and ready for this case study?
Yes, we are. So thank you for having us. Thanks to everyone who joined this case study of A1, among, other great stories here on HR World this week. As you already mentioned, we're going to talk about how we, in a way, reinvent our, experience of candidates during the selection process, how we use design thinking tools and methodologies for this. But before that, I would like, I don't know if you're gonna, if if the screen is there to see the presentation. I'm not sure.
I'll give you feedback right now. We can see your presentation, just full screen mode, so that we are sure it's all working.
Okay.
It's all good right now.
Yeah, let's just talk about us a little bit. So we decided to, in a way, introduce each other in a way with one long word combination of qualities we see in each other. So I'm going to start first. As you already mentioned, Irina is part of HR on the customer experience lead management expert position. She's been a part of HR crew since 2020, but before that she was a part of banking industry on the similar position, and before that on a totally different scale. She was a part of marketing agency. What I can say about Irina, at first sight, you will see that, smiling energy, always smiling, that's something she brings, working on a team, always boosting energy among, colleagues. But also you will see during this presentation that she's a fast speaker. So I can tell that Irina is fast speaking, ever smiling energy.
Thank you, Vlada. Now it's my turn. Vlada is a HR partner in A1 Serbia. He has 15 years of experience in telecommunication in various people relationship positions. Vlada not only contributes his expertise, but also brings a spirit of dedication in our organization. His creativity and commitment have played a key role of success of our project. Vlada's ability to understand and connect with people have been driving force behind our team's motivation, and for words, I like to say he's empathetic, creative guardian of inspiration.
And in the end of this introduction part, I would like to say, since design thinking is all about improving, reinventing, growing, we wanted to say something a little bit about us. Where are the fields of improving ourselves? We're always about, trying to help people, trying to learn, to get a new task. So for us, maybe the next step is really trying to learn to say no, not only to people, but to tasks. Irina, you can tell what people can expect today.
Yes, as you can see on the screen, this is our agenda. We will start with a quick intro to design thinking, and then dive into our project's goals, stages, insight, solutions, KPIs, values, and learnings. And first of all, I'd like to give you an overview of design thinking. In our language, the initial association with design is something visual. And Steve Jobs' well-known statement helps us better understanding what design thinking is. He said design is not just what it looks like and feels like, design is how it works. And in short, design thinking is a human-centered approach that places a human at the heart of the design process. This approach helps in creating solutions that are not just economically profitable, technically feasible, but also meet real human needs. And collaboration is another key element. It encourages cross-functional teams to work together, bringing diverse perspectives and skills to the table. This diversity often leads to more creative and holistic solutions. Empathy is the heartbeat of design thinking, and infusing human understanding into every stage. Empathy involves putting yourself in someone else's shoes in order to understand their emotions and behavior. The iterative process of design thinking is crucial. It allows for continuous refinement based on testing and feedback, and this helps avoid potential pitfalls and ensures that the final solution is well suited to the context in which it will be applied. When we know all of that, we can conclude that is a problem-solving approach that focuses on generated creative ideas, prototyping, and testing solutions. And it's not a rigid set of stages, but rather a mindset that fosters a culture of innovation and problem-solving. And that's all about design thinking. And we can move on to our project. At the beginning, there were two equally important reasons why we empowered ourselves to try to improve candidate journey by using design thinking. The initial objective was to gain a deeper understanding of selection process and from the candidate's perspective as the first step in relationship between potential new employees and the company. By using methodology, tools, and principles of design thinking, we try to better understand fundamental candidates' needs, so we could improve the selection process from their point of view. And the second goal was to empower the organization to independently use design thinking methodology from start to finish. Throughout this experience, we enhanced the skills of the employees who were part of the cross-functional team. They can provide future support to different teams within A1 organization in addressing challenges related to product creation, process improvement, or redesign, always with human in their minds. And now Vlada will guide you throughout the stages of the project.
Thank you, Irina. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more how, phases of design thinking, was reflecting or mirroring our process here in the project here in A1. So first of all, there is a gathering, generally, as Irina mentioned, you need cross-functional teams to get a better value and, for the people you're, making solutions for. For us, besides that, it was really trying to find enthusiastic learners. They didn't have to know a lot about design thinking, but they were eager to learn, and also to be dedicated employees in sense that this project was a long-term project, about six months. So they really needed to be here and focused during from the beginning till the end of the project. Sorry. So the next phase, from our point of view, the most important phase, that is exploring phase or empathy phase, which means that you really try to understand the needs and perspectives of the people you are designing solutions for. For us, it was like playing with various design thinking tools to really deep understand the needs both of candidates but also the recruiters, since they are the main people in this process. And in the next phase was a bittersweet phase, since we, defining is like clearly saying what is the problem in this at this moment. So it was a bittersweet struggle for us to structure a lot of information we had, to cluster them, and to finally understand what are the main problems that our candidates have. In the ideation phase is, as we already mentioned, the creative phase of design thinking. For us, we're going to talk about lessons learned afterwards, but for us, this was a very what was the lesson learned for us is really creating a space to be creative. So it was like we failed, and then we decided to get out of headquarters to have a space for creativity. Also, we did some kind of a digital detox. There was no phones, computer whatsoever. So it was really gave us space to be creative. And then in the next phase, prototyping is really creating a tangible representation of your solution. For us, was in a way reusing a tool we already had here in A1. So we already had a high fidelity prototype that really gave us the opportunity to call back in the next phase, testing phase, all the candidates we were talking in a empathy phase to help us really with a really almost finished product. What is this, solving their problem, and give us the quality feedback so we can, redesigning in a move. I will get back to the exploring phase on empathy phase, since I think it's very important to tell you the crucial insights from that point of view. You see the bicycle here. What does that represent? It means we didn't reinvent the wheel or reinvent the bicycle, but we really learned that the main things for candidate is to have the transparent, efficient, and psychologically secure selection process. What does that mean? Transparency is for them to know what's going to happen in each process. I want to learn about the selection process. I want to learn a lot about the company to really sense that I'm secure, knowing everything during that process. Efficiency, of course, it's something that also was pointed out, since candidate they know that it cannot last like 2 or 3 days, but for them the 30 days is something that is top, the maximum. And psychological security as well, since that's the bottom line, since for some people this is the first time they're in the selection process. So for some people they're in the selection process they haven't been for a very long time. On the other hand, it is a stressful process to try to change jobs from one company to the other. So that kind of a human approach is really important to them so they can really feel psychological security. So it really resonates in a way with the initial issue we had at the beginning. We were trying to create a good long-term relationship with the candidates, regardless of the selection process outcome. Having this in mind, Irina, now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our solution.
So now we come to the solutions that our project have brought, based on the insights into how much transparency, efficiency, and psychological security are important to the candidate experience. We made some improvements. The newsletter, in which we consolidate all the relevant information for candidates, made a significant impact of that, and I will explain you in more detail later. In light of insights that transparent communication is crucial for building trust during the recruitment process, we have revised our communication flow to ensure transparency and engagement. Additionally, we have adopted our communication style to be more personal and human. Our automated emails and notifications are designed to deliver prompt updates on application status, interview schedules, and next steps. And this guarantees seamless and transparent experience for everyone involved, the candidates and hiring managers. Currently, we are implementing CNPS, Candidate Net Promoter Score. CNPS will reveal how candidates view our recruitment process and whether they would recommend us to their friends and family. By identifying detractors, neutrals, and promoters, we will able to evaluate our improvements in a candidate journey and overall candidate experience, as well as employer brand. And let's take a look at the newsletter I mentioned earlier. It best illustrates how seemingly not innovating things can bring about significant changes in experience. Email that inform the candidate that he or she has passed the next round of the selection process is useful for both candidates and the hiring manager. The candidate will find all relevant information in email, including a brief description about the company, team, and position, as well as interview tips and tricks and technical details. And we also encourage them to follow us on social networks so they can feel a part of atmosphere of our organization.
And let's talk about a bit about the tangible KPIs, so we can see if this changes and this solution are bringing value to the candidates. So we choose two simple KPIs. One is, as Irina already mentioned, candidates NPS. So that will measure in a way, that quality of candidate experience during the process. Is it transparent enough? Is it safe enough? Is it warm enough? Is it human enough? In a way. And also, since this is, selection process is a live thing, so we're gonna get, I'm sure, some feedback that which part we can still improve during this process. And the other one KPI is really tangible, measurable, and it relating to efficiency. We want to see if the time to hire is in a way shorter or lower than it was before, since we in a way structured our process. We hope we're gonna have the process that is maybe less days than it was before. And at the end of this presentation of our case, both of us want to tell you a bit about project values. One from two perspectives. One is what the company got from this, and the other is lessons learned for us, but also for companies who are trying to start using design thinking. What is important to know, maybe for the future projects. From the company benefit sides, I think it's very important that we really now deeply understand, the needs of potential employees during this process. So having that in mind, it's always, rethinking how we can make this process more transparent, more efficient, and more human. On the other hand, there is indirect impact on employer branding, since there is a lot of mouth-to-mouth sayings and experience about the process, so they can give us maybe a quality of candidates that are applying for our company. We are of course having a more efficient recruitment process it is more structured than it was before. And also, I think one of the greatest value from this project is having empower the organization to use design thinking more often. I can mention a couple of examples. Maybe some of you who are from Serbia know our new product, Neo 23 tariff. It was clearly product that was brought from design thinking from the beginning till the end. Also, I think we are more now, secure to, have an expertise to do the trainings, design thinking trainings. So we have an internal open trainings for design thinking for, employees to be a part of them. And what I would like to mention, during the summer, we had a design thinking month. The whole month dedicated to design thinking, a lot of activities, learnings, and so on and so forth. So it gave us the opportunity to, spread a wider sense of design thinking throughout the company. And at the end, Irina will tell you what are the lessons learned from this project.
Yes, here is a quick recap of the main lessons learned. This approach leads us to deeper understanding of the actual causes of the problem. Because of that, it is important to consider various perspectives and expertises. To foster creativity, it can be beneficial to create an isolated environment away from the everyday workplace. When you are faced with a significant issue, it is essential to allow time to your team. It is not a waste, but investment of time. And the implementation of design thinking requires a certain level of organizational maturity, and we cannot expect things are happened to over the night. On the other hand, small problems can be an opportunity for significant learning and growth, and it is small changes that can lead to the transformation. And we hope that you are a little clear on how we implemented the design thinking in candidate journey, and if you have any questions, we will be happy to answer to them.
Thank you, Vladimir. Thank you, Irina, for sharing such a compelling case study, sharing all the journey from the beginning till the end in all details. It was very exciting to hear. I know the audience is exciting because in the backstage our chat is overflowing from questions. So I just made sure to write down a couple of questions. I think we just have enough time for that. So one of the questions was, is there any difference in applying this process to online versus offline candidate experience in selection process?
From our point of view, there isn't. It's always about giving the human approach, even though it's online. So sometimes especially the first part of the selection process, the first interviews are mostly online. So we're having in mind that we're really trying to focus on making that experience as well as equally good as is it offline. So from my perspective, and I suppose Irina will agree or maybe not, there's nothing different, like really trying to make it flawless.
But we have in our mind the online process during we made some improvements. One of the example of that is that we have two different versions of newsletter. Depends on candidate has online process or have in interview in person. It is one of the things that shows that we're thinking of the both processes.
Yeah, so the experience is great in overall, but there are a bit of technical differences with online and offline. Amazing. Thank you for sharing this example. And we also have a question about personalization. Did any candidate report back that they would like a bit more personalized experience?
I didn't quite get the question,
so
please.
did any candidate report back that they would like a bit more personalized candidate experience? There's a lot of talks about personalization. So
Okay, is it? Can we do it something more to be more personalized? No, we didn't have any that kind of a feedback from candidates, but we really trying to make it more personal as much as we can. Really, when it's people to human approach, it's really something we're having in mind, since that's something they was pointing out during the exploring phase.
We expect to get more feedback throughout candidate MPS, and maybe we will answer to that question after their answers. But for now, we don't have.
Yeah, it's always good that you're tracking every part of the detail of this process. I think we have just enough time for one more question. I apologize to anyone whose question did not come up to this part. So someone asked how to stay in contact with the candidates who got rejected to keep them still interested in our company.
I think the whole process we were, having that in mind. At the beginning, we really wanted to have a good, let's say, a good relationship with them, regardless of the outcome of this. So it's about being transparent, being human, and being really efficient. So they can see that you are, on point, having them in mind, whether it's, rejection mail at the first stages of this process. But, sometimes, because, what candidate told to us is, it's nevertheless, if the process is, if I'm rejected in the first round, but I want to know it, that I'm rejected. I want to get the info and to get it as fast as I can. So having in mind, and also those candidates that didn't have, human to human touch with us, we really think that's something that we really need to think about as well.
They are going to appreciate feedback. So that was a great point.
Exactly.
Thank you, Vladimir. Thank you, Irina. Before you go, a huge thanks to IADON for supporting HRL community, for sharing all of your practices. I remember your colleague last year was sharing also a case study from IADON. Today, this year, you are here sharing an amazing journey you went in improving candidate experience. It was an amazing case study. So I'm really hoping you are going to enjoy the rest of HR Week. I invite you to keep an eye on all of the case studies we are going to have throughout this day. Thank you once again.